Hi, this is Chris McDonald. I'm coming to you from Kannapolis, North Carolina, which is just a little bit north of Charlotte. The weather here has been absolutely horrible as far as heat. I love the sunshine, and we've had plenty of that, but we've also had temperatures that have been in the high 90s. We're going on our second week now. They're forecasting that maybe this weekend we might hit temperatures in the high 80s, which would really be a relief. We really need the rain. This week, I did a training on Snapchat. I hope that you're going to enjoy it. There was a lot of work put into this, and I kind of did it as a challenge by my granddaughter, who told me to put that in with one of the questions as to what people would be interested in. I was really surprised that this came in second. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, try and get over as much information as possible. Please make sure that you go ahead and get the handout, because the handout is going to tell you how it applies to business, because there was so much information. So and here we go. Snapchat, how to get started, some tricks and some facts. Even Spiegel, who was a product design expert, presented his idea for Snapchat as his final project at Stanford University in April of 2011. He was joined by Reggie Brown and Robbie Murphy. His classmates laughed at the idea of pictures that would disappear, and the whole app was first presented under the name of Peekaboo. The goal wasn't to create the perfect Kodak moment, but to communicate a full range of human emotion, whether a person was sad or whether they were really being, go ahead and do that to the fullest extent. In November 2012, users shared over 1 billion photos, and currently over 20 million photos are being shared in a single day. Snapchat's one of the social media apps that can take care of users under the age of 13. A lot of the different social media platforms don't allow children under the age of 13 to use it, but Snapchat does. Children are allowed to take pictures, draw on them, and save them on the device that's being used. They cannot, however, send those pictures to other users. Snapchat's first paid advertisement was a 20-second movie trailer for the film Ouija, and was shown to users on October 19th of 2014. Most folks think that the images disappear, but they really can be retrieved with minimal technical knowledge. Now, any of you that have watched CSI Cyber, you saw it on there where they showed that the images were able to be retrieved, and that holds true for all of the accounts. There are over 200 million users, and by some metrics, it's one of the fastest growing social apps. Here's a graph that shows just that. The source was Global Web Index, and here you can see Snapchat growing at a rate of 60%, whereas almost 60%, whereas Messenger is at 50, and Pinterest is at about 43, and Instagram is at the same level as Pinterest. Just a few more facts. The current value of Snapchat is at 10 billion. In January 2015, the Discover feature was added to begin to earn advertising revenue. Partners such as CNN, People, ESPN, Yahoo, and more distribute publishers' content. As I was using Discover, I found a video of a dog going down a blow-up water slide and then back up the steps. I sent that video over to Facebook. It's estimated that advertisements are worth 10 to 15 cents a view, and they're seen between 500,000 to 1 million times a day. Discover is fun. It's easy to use. You tap to open an edition, and you swipe to the left to browse. Swiping up on a snap for more. The co-founder of the company reportedly turned down a huge all-cash offer from Facebook, which would have valued Snapchat at $4 billion. because the firm is said to be being wooed by other investors and possible buyers. Additionally, I discovered that Facebook was actually turned down twice. Google offered $4 billion for the company, and it also was turned down. They're averaging over 6,000 users a week, which really isn't very bad numbers. If you're interested, the resources for that information is going to be here. Recently, I read a blog by a senior tech advisor and his adventure into Snapchat. Mine was a little bit similar. When I first opened the app, after the download, I realized after a bit that it was actually opened up with the camera on, and I realized that I was looking at my crotch. In fear that I was going to take a picture and send it out to a bunch of Snapchat users, I started hitting all kinds of different buttons and areas, and then I saw an old lady. Now, I might be 60, but as I was starting with Snapchat, I really felt like I was 80 or even older. At some point, about this point, I decided that my grandchildren must have some kind of magical abilities that allow them to use Snapchat just by opening it up, and they can do it more readily than the rest of us. My little 4-year-old grandson will get on Google, and he's been doing this for years now, and well, at least 2 years now, and he will go ahead and search for a video, let's say on YouTube, by using the voice activation and searching that way. I asked him where he learned to do that, and he said, well, you haven't taught me how to spell yet. You know, these children are learning how to do things so much quicker than we are. So Snapchat could really be scary. I'm not saying that Snapchat is hard for old people. It's not any more difficult than it would be for us to learn French by being dropped into a quaint little French town with no English-speaking residents. It takes trial and error, and I'm going to do my best to make it a little bit easier for you with step-by-step directions. Of course, you want to go in and download it by either using your Apple Store on iOS or Google Play on Android. Make sure that you get Snapchat and not Snap Up. I was trying to download it on my iPad and realized that it didn't want to download Snapchat unless I switched it over to an iPhone apps. And yes, I accidentally downloaded Snap Up. They'll ask you to verify your phone number, and then they'll ask you to verify the account by finding all the pictures that have the ghost in it, as you can see here, 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 and more. So you click on that to help verify that account. Of course, the next screen is going to be a request, just like all the other apps, for Snapchat to access your contacts. I didn't allow that. I hit the do not allow and was still able to individually send snaps, all of which went to my husband. You can add friends individually by hitting the icon right here with the plus one. So you can go ahead and do that, and here you will see Snapchatters that added you. Next, you want to set up your personal preferences by turning on the filter buttons. You'll get some really cool effects to add to your pictures. You get that by tapping on the ghost at the top when you're at the camera picture, then go to the gear icon. The special text gives you large overlays, and it'll give you emojis. And you'll see some of your different overlays and different things. Make sure that you watch for the colors that are changing with the large T at the top right. Of course, that gear icon is your setting button, which is right here. You want to make sure that you turn on your features, such as your filters, front-facing flash, replay, special text, and if you want a power save mode. You can activate that replay feature that I just showed you, and it'll let you replay one snap that was sent to you in the last 24 hours. The catch, you can only use replay once every 12 hours access to the replay feature. And this was me adding some filters. I was really tired. I have a picture of a beach with some things that were engraved in the sand, and I tried adding different filters to it, a smiley face, of course, and this was with the temperature at night. The camera is automatically activated with Snapchat. So to refocus, you're going to tap anywhere on the screen. You can tap for a picture right down here, or you hold it for a video. Your video is going to last 10 seconds. Now on Instagram, it's only 15 seconds, so it's a little bit shorter on Snapchat. And to change that direction, of course, you're going to want to go up here. Whenever I first went on, they gave me a series of little Snapchat 101 telling me to tap to snap, hold for video, tap anywhere to add a category, and then that's where you're going to click to send your snap to a friend. Now you can do special writing whenever you're adding a caption. You can type, or you can go ahead and put it in by hand. You can use that keyboard, or you can use that pencil. When you click on the pencil, you're going to see this come up where you can choose your colors, and then you can draw on your picture. You can also use an emoticon as well, and you can increase the size by your typical pinch in and push out, and that'll make it larger just like you do on any of the mobile devices. If you want different hues, or you want cool things like time and location, that's all going to be located on your filters. If you've enabled the filter feature of your setting, swipe your finger to the left or right so that you can preview those filters. You can determine how long you want your recipient to view your snap. Up to 10 seconds is the time limit. Just tap the stopwatch icon, which is going to be at the bottom left corner. Now, if you want to save your image or video before sending it, tap the downward pointing arrow at the bottom of the screen. Snapchat has to have access to your photo album in order to save an image. Keep in mind that once you send that snap, you cannot save it. So if you want to save it, do it before you send it. When you're ready to send your masterpiece, you tap the arrow that's at the bottom right corner. Now your contact list will appear, and you can select who you want to send it to. There's no limit how many people you can snap to. Choose all the recipients you want. Hit that send button by tapping the arrow in the bottom right corner. Once your recipient has opened the snap, you'll see, let me show you here. Right here, you see the different icons. These are what have come in and are received snaps. So you can go to the camera screen, look at the bottom left, and this will show you how many unopened snaps that you have. Here you would just go ahead and tap on it to load it. If the icon is filled, then you've not viewed or opened that snap. An empty icon means that you have viewed it. And it's going to be very similar. Once your recipient has opened it, it won't be filled in. Filled in means that it's been sent, but it hasn't been opened yet. So now what? Snapchat has a privacy policy that states once a recipient views the snap, they delete it from their servers as well as from the recipient's device. On further research, I discovered that Snapchat has its own documentation states that the company's servers retain a log of the last 200 snaps that were sent and received, and that actually stays there for 30 days. Now, a different take on that is that maybe Snapchat security isn't ironclad, but it's still a little bit cozier and a little more welcoming than a network that's going to track every post for the benefit of corporate advertisers. In a world in which Facebook is a $200 billion business, Snapchat offers a form of communication that feels a little less networky and just a little bit more social. When you're viewing that snap, you want to press and hold the one that you want to look at. Make sure that you continue to hold your finger on the screen while you're viewing it. When you let go, that snap is going to disappear. You'll see the timer in the top right corner, which shows how long you can view that snap. And when the timer ends, the snap is going to be gone permanently unless you hear replay. If you take a screenshot of a friend's snap, they're going to receive a notification telling them that you've done that. Now, if you're in the Discover feature, those videos will play over and over again, and you don't have to worry about them disappearing until it's 24 hours later. So what is a story? Like a snap, a story can be photos or videos. The difference is that you post a story to your feed, and that can be seen by you and your friends. The real purpose is to just show friends what you've been up to for the past day. A story can be replayed as many times as you want, and it's going to stay there for 24 hours. To create a story, you want to go ahead and take a photo or video, then tap the rectangle icon with the plus sign that's located at the bottom of the screen. Then tap Add Your Story. One more way is, after taking the video, go to Send to Tab and check the circle next to My Story. This gives you the option of who's going to see your story. If you decide to delete it before the 24 hours, go to the My Friends page and tap on the icon gear next to your story, and then tap Delete. Now, although sending snaps and stories seems to be what Snapchat's popular about right now, don't forget that you can have real-time conversations as well. To start a chat, visit your Snapchat inbox, then swipe right on a friend's name. You can attach a photo or a video by tapping the yellow camera button. And when you leave the chat screen, all of the messages between you and your friend will be cleared. If you want, you can take a screenshot or tap the conversation, causing the font to change and be highlighted in gray. If both you and your friend are on a chat at the exact same time, the camera button that'll be at the bottom is going to turn blue. So you can start a live video chat, and you and your friend will both have to make sure that you hold your finger on the camera the entire time. So now your screen is a live video chat. There are different meanings for the Snapchat emojis, and friend emojis are features that only you can see. No one else can see them. And here I have an explanation of those different emojis. I'm not going to go through them. You can go ahead and look at them at your own time if you're interested in that. Just remember that your real life friendships aren't going to be summarized by an emoji. So take that friend emoji very lightly, and remember that if you're watching this, most likely you're doing it because you're interested in using Snapchat for business. So that engagement is going to be extremely important, and the emojis aren't what's important. Now, the Discover feature was added to Snapchat in January 2015. The main goal was to earn revenue. There's ad partners such as CNN, People, ESPN, and more. The publishers put the material out for a 24-hour period, and it can be watched over and over again. Like I said before, I put a video of a dog on a water slide. The dog goes down the water slide, then it goes back up the steps and back down the water slide. An ad campaign causes revenue distribution between its partner, and it's estimated that the advertisements are worth 10 to 15 cents a click. Notice that I said worth. Remember, advertisements are estimated to be seen 500,000 to 1 million times a day. And this is what that Discover screen looks like. So when you open Discover, upon opening the app, you want to swipe to the left, and you'll come to a screen that looks like this. I went first into the Snapchat Discover, which was right here, and was treated to some of these images, all of which were a part of their video. And here we had a video on animals that had been born at the zoo with beautiful pictures of a giraffe. Then I was given the option to create something, and it said, I'm saying yes to more. I put veggies and put an emoticon on there. And then I sent it to my husband. I found the video with the dog in the Yahoo section. Let me go ahead and show you, which was right there. Now, with full disclosure, I'm going to go ahead and say that I really spent a good bit of time on the Discover sections and kept talking to my husband about it. I went to bed way past my bedtime playing with the Discover section. You can have special effects by using different colors when you write. To get the color white, which isn't going to be shown on that color bar, you want to put your finger on that color dial and move your finger to the left without lifting. Then you lift your finger, and anything that you write on the screen is going to be white. Black is going to be the exact same thing, except you want to go to the bottom left corner. Gray is above the black, but you'll have to play with it to find that exact shade that you're wanting. So here you see you're going to go to that bar, you slide across here, and then you'll be left with white printing. Same thing here, you'll put your thumb here, move down to the bottom, and you're going to get that black. Now to get these different colors, which obviously this blue isn't part of that chart, what you're going to do is put your thumb there, move it across, and as you're playing up and down with the different colors, you'll see the colors changing right here. That's where you want to go. Now, if you're branding with color, it would be a great idea to try and find that exact color shade that you're using in your branding and then use that to do your writing. You can use your speaker instead of typing on your screen, just like you might do with an SMS video. But there's a couple things that I want you to know. It might not work on older phones. If you have an iPhone, it has to be a 7.9 version that's on your phone. Now, you can't fix any of the mistakes that are going to show up. So if you type something, if you're saying something with a voice to text, mine, every single time I have mistakes in it. If you're on Snapchat, those mistakes can't be fixed. And I'm a perfectionist, so I don't like having those kind of mistakes. So it's going to be a lot better, most likely, if you want to use that voice to text, to make sure that you talk very slowly so that you get the proper enunciation and the proper spelling of your words. I don't know about you, even when I do that, it still goes wrong for me. But that's something that you'll have to decide and work with. At the risk of sounding dumb and repetitive, the biggest mistakes that folks make is they forget to turn on the filters. They're not turned on automatically. To do so, go to the ghost that's at the top, then go to the settings icon, go to manage, then turn it on. You can get location, weather, little filters that'll go over and change the hue of the picture. You can put on more than one filter by adding filter and continuing to hold the screen and then swipe to get to the next filter. And of course, you can make your emoticons larger by just squeezing and putting your fingers out to go ahead and make those larger images. Now you can upload a photo from your phone using an app called Snap Up, and you can do any of your editing before that, and then you can go ahead and upload that. Now, I'm not real sure how long it's going to take me to teach the free email system because I haven't yet outlined as much the information as to what I want to use in the training. So the next class, Email Marketing System for Free, is going to be on July 9th at noon. Same place, same page. You want to watch for the event on Twitter and Facebook. I'll make an event page. Please make sure that you get the handout. I did not handle or cover how you can use Snapchat for Business. However, my handout is a 8 or 9 page handout that has lots of information. I have Gary Vaynerchuk in there, some of the things that he said about Snapchat. So there's a lot of information that you'll be able to find useful. Then I included some additional URLs to give you more information that you might be interested in. There was a lot of research that went into preparing that paper, so make sure that you get that. In closing, whenever I finished with my little Snapchat area, it closed by showing me this. Whenever I was in the Discover with Snapchat, the last thing said, "See you tomorrow." Now, of course, I'm not going to see you tomorrow. I'll see you next July 9th. I look forward to seeing you then. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment, or you can message me on Facebook, and I'll be very happy to answer those questions or comments. Facebook page is Chris McDonald NC, and of course there's a comment section below this, and your handout is also located below this video. I look forward to that. If you're taking a vacation this week with the 4th of July coming up, have a great holiday weekend and have a really blessed day. Bye-bye.